This is Bucks Live, presented by Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin. Bucks going for back-to-back home wins Saturday night and Sunday night, but fall short here against Oklahoma City. The Thunder win at 121-105, and they really took over towards the end of the second quarter, turning on their number one defense against the Bucks offense here in this one. Giannis still winds up with a triple-double, but probably not the numbers that he is accustomed to. We'll go over those. Isaiah Hartenstein, a big game for him, a career-high 24 points, doing a lot of damage in the paint. And then this guy, the NBA's leading scorer, and the guy that's probably going to win the MVP, SGA, with a big game, playing all the way down the stretch, 31 points, 8 assists for him, and the Thunder a winner here tonight. Craig Sean and Steve Novak at the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Steve just got done calling this one with Lisa, and boy, I tell you what, this had a lot of energy until about that 5-minute mark of the second quarter, and then all of a sudden there was no offense literally for the Bucks, and then it just seemed like OKC was taking over, Steve.
Yeah, it did, and this is a very good Oklahoma City team, and I think to your point, it took a little bit longer to really see how good they were, because in that first quarter, Milwaukee, at the end of it, had a 2-point lead, and were playing well, making more shots. Seemed like they had the juice that you were hoping they would, coming off a back-to-back, but really both teams were, and you realized OKC was going to have a few more fresh bodies. They've just got a little bit of a younger team who were able to dive into that depth, but SGA, we knew coming into this game at 33 points per game, leading the league, having multiples 50, 12, 40-plus point games, that he was going to be a problem. And, look, he led, but it was not just him. I think you saw how many different guys. You got Williams out there guarding, getting deflections. You got the big fellas of Hartenstein and Chet right there, really doing a good job of using one another, finding each other in the right spots. And the number of drives and the way that Shai Gilgeous really leads this team, I think it just opens everybody else up. There's such a concern to take him away and to clog things up, but a lot of different guys involved for this group.
Indeed, our Habish and Rotier. Numbers that matter here in this one. The Thunder scoring leaders, well, they're very balanced. They come in. You see how many players with 9 points or more here in this one, led by SGA's 31. And it was plenty for them to win game number 56 against just 12 losses. And a tough one here for the Bucks to finish up this homestand with before they head on the road out west starting on Tuesday. So you saw the balanced scoring in this one. Now the star matchup. We talked about it a lot in the pregame show. SGA and GA are two of the top three MVP candidates here right now. And Shai gets the best of Giannis, 31 points. Giannis has 21, but he does have the triple-double. We'll talk about that in a moment. But Shai, I tell you what, I was a little surprised he basically stayed in the entire game to get his points here tonight.
Yeah, and really for a guy that has sat out of so many fourth quarters because his team has had a safe lead and he's just been able to sit and watch on the bench. This was a game, you're right, it was the opposite. He stayed in there. It looked like maybe trying to get those averages, but also you got to think that, look, the medical staff is starting to ramp some of these guys' conditionings and what they like to call their load up so they're ready for the postseason. Either way, this guy, he was a load to handle. And there's no question with the way that he plays, the physicality, the shiftiness, the way he scores the ball, the way he draws fouls. He is not an easy guy to go up against, so you got to tip your cap. And obviously the Bucks also did a really good job defensively holding him to just those 31 points, really made him earn a lot of those shots that he took, and a lot of them were fadeaways and tough shots that he's used to making. But I just thought Kuzma did a good job contesting. Brook was coming over helping a lot of times, and when there were switches, you had to like the physicality, even late with Ajax and Rollins doing everything they could to disrupt him. So held him below his average, only had 31 points, even though he averages 33, and Giannis averages 30 and only had 21. So both stars below their average, but both teams, Bucks and OKC, really good defensive teams, and it was really on display, especially for OKC, but both teams tonight.
Yeah, Shai's 48 last night, though, kind of make up the difference. That's a pretty good back-to-back road win right there at Detroit, at Milwaukee for them, and they hand the Bucks another loss here tonight. We're going to talk more about Milwaukee's superstar, an MVP winner, and his triple-double. Stay with us.
So you take a step closer, you're starting to wonder why you came here. 'Cause I'm a go-getter, a dream taker, a living legend, I'm the mover and the shaker. A go-getter, a heartbreaker, a living legend, gonna take this win out of you. Yeah, it's too late, I'm in your head.
All right, there are the two superstars there. Not here, but out there.
Yeah, stars everywhere. Craigers, come on. Feed my ego, Craigers.
At the Gerber Law offices, one call, That's All Sports, says, hey, this guy's been working how many hours here tonight? Did the pregame show with me, the game, which seemed to last longer than the baseball game tonight. Yeah. Just me. And now you're doing the postgame. So
working hard or hardly working, some people like to say, Craigers.
Some people like to say that indeed. Well, let's talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo. He ended up getting his triple-double here tonight. And I'll tell you what, Steve, you got to admit, the defense against Giannis tonight about as successful as all season long against anybody.
Yeah, well, you got multiple 7-foot guys that have the ability to shot block and protect the rim. It is kind of what you need to go against Giannis. We've seen what it looks like when it's just a Miles Turner against the Indiana Pacers last night. Giannis was just about 100% from the field and couldn't be stopped, but he got loose a few times. 7th triple-double, not bad for a night when we're saying, hey, they were playing pretty good D on him, because they were. But you just got to love Giannis' spirit. He's out there all the way to the end. You could tell it probably was Doc saying, hey, it's time to sub out. And he said, nope, we want to see if we can make something happen. He knows he's got a big 5-game, 10-day road trip out west. And still, he just plays at one speed. He's always pushing. He should be more than he is in that MVP conversation with Shai Gilgeous. That takes nothing away from what Jokic is doing this year, from what SGA is doing this year. But obviously what Giannis is doing with another triple-double, even on a night like tonight where it is a back-to-back and it ends up being a loss, the way he plays, the way he comes out every night, the stuff that he plays through, this guy is just an incredible leader and face of this league.
Well, you only see OKC here in this building once a year. You only match up against them twice. It's happened 3 times now because of the NBA Cup. But you get an appreciation for where this team and how far they have come, how young they are, and what they could do in the playoffs.
Yeah, they really were impressive, to your point, to be able to really get your eyes on them in this building. And you know who the Milwaukee Bucks are and what other opponents look like up against the Bucks. You watched Indiana against the Bucks last night. Not as good as OKC. It was very clear. You're seeing just the depth that they have, the different versatility and the weapons that they have that are coming off the bench, the defenders, the amount of steals that OKC gets. When you end up looking at and really going down to the rankings offensively and defensively, and you see this is one of the top teams, if not the offensively and defensively, you realize that is what a game like tonight shows you, is where Milwaukee is, and also what some of the teams that their records show that they're the best teams in the league are, how good they really are. It was impressive.
All right, 121-105 is the final. Oklahoma City over the Bucks here tonight. Doc Rivers on the way, plus we're going to get you set for a huge road trip. Biggest one out west of the season starts in the Bay Area of San Francisco. Back-to-back home games Saturday night, Sunday night for Milwaukee. A winner last night over Indiana, but tonight they fall to Oklahoma City 121-105. So the Bucks now hit the road. Big road trip out west, a 5-gamer against the Western Conference. Starts on Tuesday night. They'll be gone for 10 days. Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler are set to take on the Bucks, and Steph Curry got the best of the Bucks here in Milwaukee back on January 10th. He had 38 points in that game, and now he's got a new addition.
Yeah, he does, and his name is Jimmy Butler. This is a team that has won 12 of their last 13 games, and, well, Jimmy Butler is probably the reason why. That's taking nothing away from Steph. He's obviously a huge part of that right now, too, but this is a team that is very different than they were before the Jimmy Butler trade. And so what Steph Curry does, he's still on full display. He's going to be out there shooting bombs from who knows where. One of the most exciting players to watch, the way he can score that thing. And that's even saying that after watching SGA tonight. But Jimmy Butler has been a big-time addition. They've won a lot of games because of the way that he kind of fills the gaps with the stuff that they needed. So hopefully Milwaukee can get some wins on the road, and especially this time of year, so important to get some tough wins.
Yeah, Butler not scoring a lot, but keeping that ball moving right now in their offense, and they've won 14 of the 15 games he has played. So they're right back in it in the Western Conference playoff chase for sure. All right, more to come here. We're going to hear from Doc Rivers, Bucks head coach, thoughts after this tough loss to the Thunder. The offense running out of gas at the end of that second quarter into the third. Here's Doc Rivers.
Yes, particularly in that second quarter.
I just thought they were so much more physical tonight. So give them credit. I thought they played. They definitely came in with intentions tonight and played that way. We struggled, I thought, throughout the game getting into our offense. I thought they strung us out. We couldn't get open, couldn't get to our spots, and I thought that was them. I thought they played great tonight.
Do you think that was inside out with Hartenstein and Holmgren?
No, I'm talking about guard pressure. I think it was throughout all of them. I just thought, we didn't play them in one game in Oklahoma. None of our guys. This is really the first time we've played them since Vegas, and you can see that clearly was in them. So.
I believe this is the third game in the last week. You've talked about the other team being more physical, yeah. Orlando, Cleveland. Is there a common thread throughout that?
Well, those 3 games, they were more physical. We're more physical most nights, so you can figure that one out,
But how do you answer it is more what I'd be asking.
Well, we've been more physical most nights, right?
Yeah.
That's my point. So in these 3 games, we haven't been, and when we're not going to win the game. So there's no answer to it. It's just a fact.
With Giannis and Dame, obviously they're such a big part of your guys' offense. On nights like this, what are you kind of looking for them to do? Like, is there a certain amount of shots you want them to take? Is it about playmaking? Like
a certain amount of shots, just play right, move in space. And I didn't think we did any of that. I don't think them. I thought Giannis, I thought really came with the right intentions, and I thought there's games, guys, that you have in the year that one team understands the bigness of the game and the other team doesn't. And I honestly thought we can talk about all this other stuff. I think that was the difference. And you can feel it. You can see it. I thought the one guy with us was Giannis. I thought he had that intention. He felt that. No one else. I don't think anyone else did. I thought that was the difference in the game.
All right, that's Doc Rivers following the loss. And one thing about Doc, you get the message right away and you understand what he's saying, and he doesn't mince words, that's for sure. I mean, this game wasn't close from that stretch he's talking about, from about the 5-minute mark on into halftime to start the third quarter. A couple of big shots. He's calling timeouts with not even a minute into the quarter. And, those add up and get frustrating, like he says, against all these numerous teams.
Yeah, and he kind of brought up the point about the NBA Cup game and the fact that Milwaukee did hold them to 81 points and beat them in the NBA Cup championship. And he said, look, they felt that, and they seemed like they came into this with intentions, different than Milwaukee did. Giving Giannis credit, like you said, he stayed out there and competed all the way to the end, but just didn't seem like Milwaukee was matching the physicality and the moment of this game tonight. And so, obviously, like you said, Doc, just with a very honest response to what he thought happened tonight.
All right, Bucks split their back-to-backs. Oklahoma City wins theirs, both on the road at Detroit last night and here in Milwaukee tonight. That's going to do it for us. Again, the Bucks hit the road out at Golden State to start a 5-game road trip. That's Tuesday night, 8:30. We'll begin our broadcast here on FanDuel Sports Network. We'll get you set for Bucks Live pregame for a big road trip for the Milwaukee Bucks, and hopefully they can find a way to get back on track against some high-quality opponents in the Western Conference. We'll see you Tuesday night, everybody.